far Microsoft and the Xbox brand has come from the Xbox One days. It's honestly kind of heartwarming to see that the company is doing so well, and they're so pro-consumer about the way that they've gone about it. Now, the interesting thing here is that what I'm talking about, I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people that want to bring up PlayStation with this, but I gotta be completely honest. This has zero to do with PlayStation. So if you guys are like stuck on the whole PlayStation thing, like that sucks, and I really am sorry about that. But honestly, that has nothing to do with me personally. Just to be honest, I try my best to stay out of the full-on fanboy mode. But a lot of people just kind of bring that aspect out, and it's just one of the things that kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, listen, PlayStation's doing fine. This is not a video that's really trashing PlayStation or really has much to do with PlayStation at all. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. I want to get into it. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from leaving us a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It means the world to me. And if you are spending some free time watching my videos today, please like the videos. That's all I ask. It helps the channel grow and it helps the videos to be seen. So that's something that you guys can always help me out. I do a lot of interesting things on the channel, trying new things, doing new things, trying to make the channel grow. But it really a lot depends on you guys. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. Now, what I wanted to talk about is something that a little bit of news, a little bit of information that came out, which I thought was very interesting. As far as I can see with this particular bit of information, some gamers might not like to hear this, but honestly, what we're seeing from Xbox right now, we haven't seen in a very long time. Actually, not a long time. Check that. We've never seen this from Xbox. That's something that I think nobody expected me to say. So, interestingly enough, and I know people go, sales, but look at me. I've always been one to talk about sales of games and game systems because you want these things to be successful so that you can get more, right? You want to be able to get more. According to this, Xbox Series consoles were the #1 selling platform in the UK for the month of March, ahead of Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 5, following strong retail signs of Xbox Series X shipments in the US for the month as well. So what's interesting here is this was according to Benji Sales, also Christopher Dring, who said March looks like it's been another tough month for console stock in the UK, particularly on PS5, although it's better than February. Series S and X had the best month in March, primarily due to the arrival of more X consoles. All these platforms are down year to date. So a question that was asked to Benji, it says, in the US, are we seeing Series X consoles on retail shelves now because Microsoft has been able to increase production? And Benji replies, massively, might be the biggest Xbox performance ever in March, surpassing the Xbox 360. So I've always stated this, and I stick by this. The Xbox 360 was the golden era of the Xbox brand. Flat out. Not only is it a lot of people's favorite era, but it was also indeed the era in which Xbox sold the best. Okay? And when you're talking about 2011, that has nothing to do with like Red Ring or anything like that. They were selling extremely well because they had won something like 40 straight NPDs. They had the revision come out. Things were going extremely well for them. That was the high point for Xbox. So, and I keep saying this, and people keep bringing up that PlayStation 5 is constrained with the shipments, and I keep pointing out that I don't care about that. PlayStation 5 is hugely successful on its own. It's great. It's doing well. This has nothing to do with PlayStation. Xbox Series X, and the S are the most successful Xboxes of all time right now. Think about that. Like, it's beating out Xbox 360. It's crushing Xbox One and the original Xbox. What they've been able to come back from has been nothing short of miraculous, and it looks like it's going to continue to grow and to continue to be great things for Xbox. And yes, I know a lot of people might not like to hear that, and I'm sorry, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that the shortage seems like it's finally over in terms of the Xbox, and that's going to help continue to drive things. So when you happen to see an Xbox in a store, that doesn't mean a bad thing. That doesn't mean that people don't want it. That means that Microsoft is finally starting to catch up where they need to be with their supply versus demand. And that is also a very good thing. Like, people are really kind of go out of their way to make some of these Xbox news stories and make them sound like they're really bad or it's a bad thing. And to be 100% honest with you, it's not at all. Like, this is not a bad thing at all. This is actually a very good thing, and what we're seeing is a lot of stock coming in. You might have noticed that more Xbox Series X stock has been available at online and in retail in the last few weeks, despite the ongoing global semiconductor shortage. And how is this the case, you might be asking yourself? With restocks happening far more frequently than we've been used to since Microsoft's console launched in November of 2020, and with competitors like the PS5 still proving incredibly hard to find, many have speculated as to why the Series X consoles are suddenly easier to find. And according to some people, the answer is pretty simple. It basically has to do with money. Speaking on a podcast, they said that Microsoft made a significant investment back in April of last year to prioritize chip production where Xbox Series X consoles were being produced. And this is what they said effectively. Almost a year ago to the date, April 5th, they got a DM saying Microsoft was going to have a lot of consoles available this fall. They're going to have a lot. And they did in the end, didn't they? Why is that? Because Microsoft paid for chip priority. Effectively, Microsoft paid for chip priority at the factories, which is why we saw and are still seeing so much of Xbox stock right now. They said that the increase in Series X stock shouldn't come as a major shock to people, considering that Microsoft managed to fill its cloud servers with Xbox Series X blades, produced a custom Halo Infinite Edition console, and we're still seeing stock now. The only possible way that this is happening is Microsoft's investment back in April of last year. How do you think they pulled all that off with the chip shortage? They paid for chip priority. Money was the reason. Microsoft paid effectively to increase their production and have more stock. And to them, it's very smart investment. This is the time to do it. People want stock. If you want more subscribers on Game Pass, you're not going to get them if people can't get the console. And the restocks are really paying off. It's not rocket science. If consumers can't buy a product, sales will naturally suffer as a result. Scarcity can also lead to an increase in scalpers, which plagued both of the consoles launched last year as they try to profit from a lack of supply but with high demand. Ever since Microsoft made more Xbox Series X stock available, sales have increased substantially, so much so that the Xbox Series X outsold the PS5 in Europe in February, something that might not have been possible if Sony had some more stock on the shelves. PS5 sales, meanwhile, have slumped in recent months as people simply can't buy the console, despite being desperate to do so. Again, it's all well and good offering a device that everyone wants, but if you can't buy it, both Sony and consumers ultimately suffer. So it's a relief that we might finally see an end to the Xbox Series X shortage, and it'll be sometime, and it's going to be, very well received that it's been in, people's hands for a while now. The Xbox Series X and S are still the fastest selling consoles that Microsoft has ever produced, after all, and demand is unlikely to subside anytime soon. And one of the reasons why Microsoft has managed to shift so many Xbox consoles is largely down to the Series S. The more affordable console has been regularly available for a number of months now, thanks to having a simpler manufacturing process. And I've kind of talked like that previously, but this is very, very much a fantastic thing to hear. And again, we're starting to see Microsoft's gambles pay off. Again, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to do a lot of straight comparisons to PlayStation, but I think the overall aspect of this is that Microsoft is really invested in Xbox, and they're really invested in the console going forward, and everybody should be able to enjoy that aspect, in my opinion. How do you guys feel about this? I'm going to link these in the description. You guys can check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Crap Gamer out.